Hello and welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carter. I'm DJ Carter, your host. Happy to have you with us today. Today we're going to do a baked salmon and also fried tilapia. I am very happy to introduce one of my closest friends and also one of my martial arts instructors that I've known for a long time, Mr. Clifton Whitaker. He's actually going to be on the show with us today, asking questions and viewing and tasting, and hopefully he'll tell you how my food really is. And aside from myself and Max, you can see that other people do eat my food and they don't die. So we'll go from that, and this is what we're going to do. What we've got is we've got a 1.5 pound salmon fillet. We've got it on a double layered aluminum foiled cookie sheet that's been lightly oiled. We've also went ahead and oiled the salmon down so that it does not dry out in the cooking process. We've preheated the oven to 425 degrees. That'll take about 15 to 20 minutes to preheat. Now, I have not seasoned anything because I want to go over the rest of my ingredients for the fried tilapia. Now, the tilapia is right over here in this little white container, which is white below us. Yeah, which is right below us. And I also have a egg station and a breading station for the tilapia a little bit later on in the show. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and talk just a little bit about this salmon fillet. Some people say salmon, some people say salmon. It is pronounced salmon, so that's the way we're going to go with it. Now, if you don't want to cook this whole fillet, you can actually chop it down. You don't need to fillet it. You can. I am able to do that. I was going to do that on camera, but I read it and I said, no, I'm not gonna fillet it. We'll just go with it. So right now, it's bare bones. It hasn't been anything but oiled. We're going to go ahead and season that. I'm going to start off with just a little bit of seasoned salt.
Now, you didn't put a lot of oil. You just drizzled it, didn't you?
Exactly. I very light... very light drizzle of oil. It doesn't take much at all. Mm-hmm. And as far as the seasonings go, I go, season to taste just like most. As far as the, consistency of what I want to do with the fillet, how tender it's going to be. And it's going to go for about 20 to 25 minutes as far as that's concerned.
Oh boy, garlic salt. That's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of oregano. And oregano is one of those spices where a little bit goes a long way. Finally. Yep. Got a little bit of complete seasoning. A little bit on this side. Okay. A little bit of garlic powder. Now, I'm very, very, very gentle with the salt because the content, you don't need a lot of it, maybe about a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of salt. Right there on the end there, yep. Now, this salmon is ready to go. Once the oven preheats, all we're going to do is stick this in the oven, skin side down, 20 to 25 minutes. I'll check it about on the 18 to 19 mark and see how I like it. The salmon is going to turn white and it's going to flake when it's done. The good thing about doing this on a double layered foiled cookie sheet is when you're done, slide the spatula under the bad boy, put it on a plate, pull the foil up, easy clean up, throw it in the trash, rinse the cookie sheet off, and you're good to go. Now, what I want to talk about is my egg station. Okay, I have not broken the yolks yet. I've added just a little bit of milk and also my oregano. So I'm going to stab each egg and I'm just going to circle around and you'll see the egg start to dissipate right into that milk. And I'm going to take each egg and do the same thing. A couple of circular motions. And if the egg tends to stick just a little bit, stab it one more time.
Now, DJ, you're making a milk and egg wash?
Yes, that is a milk and egg wash that is going to go for each piece of the tilapia that's there. There are 2 fillets there. You just drop it in.
Okay.
I go in the wet to dry, and that's how that works. I've seasoned it with just a little bit of oregano. And I am going to go ahead and just let this sit there just like that. I'm going to take the same seasonings that I seasoned my salmon with.
Okay.
Okay, just a little bit of garlic powder. 25. Actually 18. 18. Yeah. A little bit of complete. Start time. You can just hit timer again and it should. There we go. I lose my phone, but it's on the couch. A little bit of seasoning salt. Okay. Now the reason I do this in the egg wash like this is because honestly, when I bread the tilapia into the flour mixture, I'm also going to season that. I've already used complete. Also, I'll use that. Okay. And now we're going to use the garlic salt.
With the salt salt.
That way I'm going to season the dry mixture too, and I'll go over that in just a moment or two. There's that. Now, same thing I did before.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Sorry about that. Same thing I did before. Just mix it around. Now, the only bad thing about seasoning the egg wash is it tends to clump just a little bit. So if that happens, come around the outside of the egg wash and go in the opposite direction. Go 3 to the right, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Simple, easy, that's how you do it. We're done with the fork. We can get that out of the way. Just toss that right into the sink. Okay, now that the egg mixture, and if you don't have a fork or you don't use a fork a lot, just do one of these and just give it a little agitate or a toss to get it mixed around. That'll happen. Now, we go with the fun stuff. This has not been seasoned at all. This is 2 cups breadcrumb to 1.5 cup flour. I use a scoop, but it's about a cup. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to season my flour first. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Same way I've done the others, which you just saw me do. Sprinkle, sprinkle garlic powder. A little goes a long way. Oregano. Okay. Complete. Now I know what your thought is. A lot of this is going to be over seasoned. I promise you it's not. The reason this works so well, and this is going to work well, is because it just moved. It's okay. You want to season the outside as well as the inside. I do want to mention the noise you just heard was the tray will warp just a little bit from the heat. It will bend up, it will bend down, it'll move, make all sorts of noises, call you all sorts of names. Don't worry, it's fine. We've got sensors, it's no problem. So finally we're going to add just a little bit of garlic salt into this. And then our good friend Mr. Salt.
That salmon is beginning to smell good.
Mm-hmm. Alright, now I'm going to get a spoon out of the drawer there. And that'll work just fine. Magically appears in my hand thanks to the cameraman's behind the scenes work. Now this I just lightly toss. Okay, doesn't take much at all. And I don't have to over season the flour or anything like that.
I want to get that coarse out of there.
And I want you to notice that the flour is not, it doesn't have a lot of grainy quality. It's very smooth. The breadcrumbs are Italian seasoned already, so you don't have to go crazy with seasoning. Now, I don't use pepper until after the salmon is done because I want that pepper to kick on the back of the throat when you take a bite of that. That's the last spice I want to have basically melt in your mouth quality. So when we come back, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to go ahead and bread the tilapia and also do the egg wash and the flour mixture. We'll be back in just a few short minutes on Cooking with Carter. And we're back on Cooking with Carter. Still have Mr. Whitaker today with us, and happy to have him on the show today. You doing all right over there, Mr. Whitaker?
Yeah, I noticed you said that the breadcrumbs were already seasoned. So do you have a mixture of breadcrumbs and flour there?
Yes, that is just a straight. It's 2 cups breadcrumb to 1 cup flour, and
Cup and a half.
yeah, cup and a half of flour. So I mean, you could go 2-2, but I want it to be more breadcrumb than flour because I want it to stick. So what I've done, I went ahead and dropped our one of our fillets of tilapia into the egg wash first. Okay, I'm going to move the spoon out of the way. Okay, now when you're dealing with this, and I'll show you how to get just a few fingers wet on this, come in from the side, go up under your tilapia. Now you don't want to tear this, so just a quick flip. Okay, then do it again. Quick flip. Now that's egged as much as you need it to be. Let the excess drip off. 1, 2, 3. Right into the breadcrumb mixture. Flip it again. Breadcrumb mixture. Flip it again. Breadcrumb mixture. And as you flip it, just drag it along the side.
Be careful, it's starting to split in half.
It's okay. Okay. Now this will cake to your fingers a little bit. It's all right. We really cook on this show. It's okay. Mess is allowed. We don't call the mess police until after 7:30, so it's okay. All right, so that's in. Now, I went ahead and heated the skillet to 300 degrees. All right, welcome back. What we went ahead and done, we've already seasoned the egg wash and the breadcrumb mixture. We have Mr. Whitaker with us today. Very happy to have him with us. Okay, so I went ahead and I've seasoned my first fish fillet with this breadcrumb mixture.
I noticed, DJ, you said you had breadcrumbs. Is this a mixture of flour and breadcrumbs?
Yeah, it's actually Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and it's
Okay.
it's 1.5 cup flour to 2 cup breadcrumbs, and I just dropped it in the egg wash mixture, and now I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the oil. And this will take about 6 minutes on each side. Move this over here. And I'm going to do the other one on camera for you. Our salmon is just about ready to be checked. I'm going to take the other salmon fillet, the other tilapia fillet. Drop it in the egg wash mixture first. Come underneath, flip, move it around, flip again, pick it up, shake off the excess, hold both sides together, drag, turn, drag, turn. Now, like this one is doing, if you notice you start having a problem, that is the one reason that I decided to keep the spoon out. And I'm going to show you one of the benefits of having a spoon out, so that your hands have to do less of the work.
You can use the spoon to cover the fillet
In the breadcrumb and flour mixture. Yeah. So now, we just make sure that she is as good on this side, which she is.
25 seconds.
And we drop her down in the oil just like that. So, now, we've got about 25 seconds on the salmon, the fish that is in the oven. So, I am going to get Max to bring this out. We're going to get the, yes. Going to get the salmon out of the oven. 1 extra minute's not going to hurt it. We can move the egg and flour mixture out of the way. It's because it said 25, so that's why I stopped it at 18 to give yourself enough time. And if you stop it early, and this was one of the reasons that I stopped it early, is because I want to make sure that we have time to do what we need to do. I'm not covering my fish right now because I'm letting them marinate together.
Throw that away.
Yep. Throw that back there. Get that out of the way. This can be thrown away over here in the trash can. Thank you, Mr. Whitaker.
Are we done with these?
Yes. Okay. And you've got a full 25 minutes on that salmon. It's not a problem. You don't have to rush. That's why you stop at about 18 or 19 minutes. Before that 25, we can take a look at it. If I like the way it looks, if it's white like I want, if it flakes like I want, that's what we want to see. So out comes the oven.
Out comes the oven.
Out comes the oven. Door! That's what came out of the oven right there. And now, we're going to have Mr. Cameraman slide right on in. Be careful of the liquid. A lot of liquid in there. Okay. There you go. That's going to need about another 6 minutes or so. Still got some orange to it. That's okay. So we're going to put it back in for about another 6 minutes, and she should be good to go. And the smoke detectors are going off again, but that's okay. Yep, they really cook on this show. Yep. And we're going to turn on the overhead exhaust fan yet again. So it's going to get a little loud, but that's fine. 425 on that. Yep. Put it in for another 6 minutes or so, and that should finish it. Now, let me go ahead and flip these on camera for you and show you what this tilapia is going to look like. When you go to flip this with a lot of oil, bring your tilapia to the side with the spatula, come over to the side that is opposite from you, and you just want to work it very, very gently. Down you go. There it is. Nice golden brown. Man. Tell you what, that's going to be a pretty piece of fish by the time that's finished. Now, come to this side. Now, this is on the left side, so I'm going to really quickly push up and down. Let that flip over. Let that flip over. Get the other piece out of the way. That's why you don't rush, because everything that happens in real life. It's okay. Very smooth. Very easy. Very simple. And that, in 6 minutes, will come right off. We'll be right back on Cooking with Carter when we're done. When we come back, I'm going to put these on a plate, present them, show you how they look. We'll get the salmon out of the oven. Hopefully the smoke detectors won't go off again this time. And we'll see you in a short bit due to the power of editing on Cooking with Carter. See you in a minute. And we're back with the conclusion of Cooking with Carter today.
Man, it looks good.
Oh man, I tell you what, you might kiss your mama. You never know. So what we're going to do, I just want to show you this before we touch anything. One thing I want to address with salmon, we were talking about this off camera, and unfortunately you didn't get to see it because it took a little bit of 6 hands, apparently. Don't foil your sheet, okay? Your cookie sheet, just coat it with oil like we did. one of the downsides to doing the foil is the back side of the salmon will tend to
Yeah. Yeah. That's all our foil. And salmon back.
I tell you.
Yeah.
That's just it. But anyway, what happened was I wanted to flay it originally, and Mr. Whitaker had asked, and unfortunately it was off camera. He said, with these scales anyway, sometimes you do want to go ahead and flay that other side, which made it simple. The foil peeled it right off. That's natural salmon. I'm just gonna actually cut just to show you just how simple that is.
That's the tilapia.
I mean, I just barely.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm gonna actually take a piece. Okay, get you to hold the platter there next. Right up underneath. And come here, buddy.
There you go.
Oh yes.
That right there. And that right there.
And get your salmon stuff out.
Go ahead and just to pull a piece of salmon off there. And come here.
Yeah.
Very simple. Even with the spatula, I don't even really have to use the knife.
Nope.
That's how flaky this salmon is.
It looks good too.
I tell you, that's a work of art right there. And we'll take this last couple sections here and go over to the third plate. And then I'm going to actually divvy up the other tilapia as well. Just go right down the center. That is so tender that it just, I mean, I don't even have to press with the knife.
It had plenty of time to rest too.
I actually will do 3 different things with any kind of meat.
You're underneath the plastic. You're underneath the plastic.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me just, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of meat or fish, even if it's a second or two or a minute or two. Slide it up under that thing, please. I will. And then we've got a little bit of salmon left over. I'll let it rest before I cut it, because simply if you cut it too quick, those juices will tend to just flow right out of there, and the longer you let it rest, the more flavor is going to stay within the meat and the salmon. So, Mr. Whitaker, you can do the honors there. We'll have a little taste test on Cooking with Carter here.
All right.
And we'll see what you think.
First, I'm going to go into the tilapia. Nice and crispy. Smells. Excellent.
now see, that's what I'm waiting for.
Excellent.
And the salmon?
And the salmon.
Wow, that flaked right off there. Ooh.
I'm glad I came by today. Oh yes.
Oh, man.
All of those seasonings are just coming through.
That's all right. Well, now that Mr. Whitaker has
Yes.
had a taste of it, let the cook get a taste here. Oh my.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. That tilapia. Woo!
That's salmon.
Good great idea. Let me try this salmon.
You're gonna like it.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
You're exactly right. The seasoning's on the salmon, and you get that little bite at the end. Well, folks, there's only one phrase I can say to end a show like this. The meals we make are worth the wait. We'll see you next week on Cooking with Carter. Take care, guys.